We're ready to go? Are you guys ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, I think you should clap for yourselves. That's good. All right, who's ready to hear my life story? It lasts about 37 minutes.
That's all the time we got.
That's all the time, yeah. First of all, thank you for coming, and I really am glad that you're here on a healthcare camp from Children's Hospital. My name is Mike. Mike Canistero is my full name. I've been teaching here at Sinclair in the chemistry department for 23 years. This is my assistant, Addie. She is taking chemistry courses here at Sinclair. She's taking organic chemistry right now, a second year of organic chemistry, or of chemistry. I'm going to tell you why I was really fired up about this event, okay? I'm going to tell you about when I was 16 years old, and I still keep in touch with my nurse from 30 years ago. And what happened to me is I had a lump right here, okay? What do you got right here, by the way, healthcare people? What's that, glands? You know what those are? Those are your lymph nodes. So my senior year of high school, I was 16. I started school when I was 4. That's why I'm immature. I just never caught up in maturity. I had a bump right there, okay? What do you do when you got a bump right there? What should you do if it lasts for a while? Get it checked out. Guess what? I had to play football. You're looking at me like, that guy played football? Yeah, I played football. Oh, was he kicker? Yeah, I was second string kicker. So anyhow, I had to play football. Football was important. Get it checked out in the winter. Guess what was the winter? Wrestling. You're like, that guy used to wrestle? Yeah, I used to wrestle. Actually, in college, I wrestled too. I was big. But you could flip a coin whether I'd win or lose. Anyhow, so I had to wrestle, you know. So spring, get it checked out. Guess what they thought I had? They said, I went to the doctor, said, you got cat scratch fever. You know what cat scratch fever is? It's a bad song by Ted Nugent is what it is. But actually that's like a blood infection. But what they did is they took it out, and they found out I had Hodgkin's disease. And now it's not actually called Hodgkin's disease anymore. It's called Hodgkin's lymphoma, all right? And that's when you know you're old, when they change the name of your disease. It's actually like now it's a different disease. So my chemo nurse and I keep in contact with each other still because the joke she always says that she came into the room once and, you know, I started getting sick on chemotherapy. It makes you very sick. The doctor told me, like, well, I'm going to give you as much poison to almost kill you, but to kill all the cancer. That's what happens when you have chemotherapy. So I still keep in touch with my nurse. She just retired 38 years as a nurse. And so she was working for hospice. And so what did we learn there? What did I do wrong? I didn't get it checked out for a long time. So I went from stage 1, where it was all right here, and it went all through my system. I was stage 3. And then I had to have chemotherapy. If I'd have gone right in there and they'd taken it out, they might have gotten it all. And I could have just been radiated or something. But I lost about a year of my life due to that. And my hair fell out. Do you guys know why your hair falls out when you have chemotherapy? Do you know why that is? It's the strangest thing ever. But you know, I always wanted to be I was a curious person. My dad was a scientist. My dad took a strand of my hair and he looked at it and took a picture of it under a microscope. And what happens is your hair starts growing less, just like everything in your body. That's the whole point. And your hair comes out looking like this. It's like a tree that grows wide and then skinny, you know. And then picture that's a tree. And that is like a tree growing out of the ground. And then the trunk of it's super small. What's going to happen to the tree? Could fall over, and then your hair breaks off is what happens. So yeah, got something wrong with you? Go get it checked out. You might be embarrassed, right? You ever, even it might be in an embarrassing place, but get it checked out. You know, and you always worried, you're scared. You know, you're worried, I'm going to show this thing to the doctor. Hey doctor, I got this thing. And then you're worried you're going to hear somebody go like, you know, but no, that's not what happens. Is usually they've seen everything. So go get it checked out. That's the first thing. But we're going to need you people out there, because as I get older, I'm going to need to go to the doctor more, and the population's getting older, and so you guys are all interested in healthcare careers, right? Does anybody want to volunteer what they want to be? And then I'll tell you why I probably couldn't do it, and that's why I'm glad you want to do it. Who wants to be a nurse here? Anybody? Good. Like my chemo nurse there. And that's the thing is there's going to be more jobs for nurses. And yeah, like sometimes like you gotta touch people's feet and stuff, right? I mean, but you're not really touching their feet because you got gloves on and stuff. Anybody want to be a surgeon? Yeah, I mean, I couldn't do that. I just fell off my bike a week ago. I almost passed out just putting hydrogen peroxide on myself. I could, you know. If I was trained all the way to be a surgeon, you know, they'd be like, nurse, scalpel, and then I'd just be, I can't do it. You know, I just couldn't do that cutting stuff. So we need people to do that. So I'm very glad you're here, but you're going to need an education in science. And frankly, you're going to need to just kind of really survive it. And it's really not as bad as you think. So that's what I'm here to do, is to try to make that fun for you so that you can survive your experience in science, okay? First thing we're going to do here today is we are going to crush some cans without touching them. This is somehow, you could actually, if you did this safe enough, you could do this at home. What you need are some cans. And what I've done is I've filled them up about 1/4 of the way with water, maybe 1/10 of the way. And then I'm going to put it on that super hot plate. So you're going to watch out. Now I'm doing 4 of these so someone can come up and help me. I'm going to do the first one though. Okay, I'll show you how to do it. And then, all right, I like this guy. He's in the front and he's like, I'm up there. Okay, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're going to let this boil in here. So what's going to happen is you're going to start to see that the steam's coming out of there. So what's going on in there with the water? I'm heating it. It's going to get to the point where it's boiling. What's the boiling point of something? What is it? Go ahead. Okay, that's water. You can say 212, right? Or it's 100 degrees Celsius, that. But it's a temperature, right? And it is something where what we call the vapor pressure is equal to the surrounding pressure. Okay, so what's vapor pressure? This is where I'm going to put my man to work here, okay? In here is not water, okay? This is a very thin piece of glass, or a little bulb of glass, and there's like alcohol with dye in it, okay? Now watch out, that's very thin glass, but I want my man to hold on to it. Now do it like this with your hand, okay? Just hold it really gently. There you go. Do you know what you're doing right now? You're making the vapor pressure of that higher because you're heating it. And it's not going to boil. Well, it's actually going to kind of bubble up, and there's pressure of the vapor is pushing that up there. Now I'm going to pass this around so when it comes back down, everybody in the room can do it. There you go. Now you're boiling it, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And now if you let go of it, it'll cool back down. All right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you do it. But remember that this is very thin glass, so that the heat from your hand will transmit through that, and the vapor pressure will happen. Okay. So what's going to happen all up here? I'm not supposed to touch it because it'll be hot. What's going to happen here is my hot plate, which I've now got on 10, is going to get these things to the point where they're boiling. That means the vapor pressure in there is going to be equal to the surrounding pressure. What's the surrounding pressure? You ever heard of the pressure of the atmosphere? Right? It's got the pressure of the atmosphere. Why is the atmosphere pushing on us? You ever think about that? Why is the atmosphere pushing on us? Did you know that you push 60 liters of air out? Maybe that's the average volume of a person, which varies. It might be like 50. But you're pushing out X number of liters, say 50 liters of air wherever you go. Big bullies. You're just pushing it around. It weighs about 2.5 ounces. And you're just displacing air. But it's really the gravity holding the air on top of us. And that's pushing on a pressure on us. And so what we're going to do, now this is what I didn't show you. I got some ice in here. All right. Here's the trick. Oops. I also screwed up. I should have taken those tabs off. But we're going to go at it with the tabs off of there. And what's going to happen is if you could shake that so it's kind of flat. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I got some tongs, okay? And once this starts really boiling, the trick you do is you take it, you turn it upside down. Right now we're here, and this hasn't boiled yet. Oh, I got excited. That was the sink. And then what's going to happen is you're going to have steam coming out of here, and the vapor pressure is going to be equal to the atmospheric pressure. But then what happens to the boiling water? What happens to steam if I put it in ice really quick? What will happen? it's going to condense. So the pressure inside that can is going to go just about to nothing, and you're going to have what we call an implosion. Okay, so what's going to happen is the can's going to smash, and I'm only going to be touching it with those tongs. I'm not going to touch it with my hand because it's real hot. Okay, and then I'll ask for a couple of volunteers to do it after I've done it. Now you can hear the sound it's making, right? Yeah. You hear it starting to boil. You can tell it's really, you know, and I tell you, you could do this at home if you're real careful because you got ice, you got cans, you got barbecue tongs, but maybe, you know, I didn't say that. I don't know. You got a good contact at Children's Hospital if anything goes wrong, right? Steam really does burn you pretty good. And I have safety glasses, so I'm going to put my safety glasses on because I'm going to actually do something real quick. So, okay, would you agree that all those sound like they're boiling in there, right? Yeah. So I'm going to put this really close, and I'm going to grab one of these. Which one looks like it's doing the most? So I'll grab the one here just for fun. Okay, now what's going to happen is I'm going to try it in one swell swoop. I like it. Let's go with it. One swell foop. I am going to flip this, and the steam in there that's at atmospheric pressure is going to condense. It's going to go down to much lower than atmospheric pressure. Can's going to change its shape in a hurry. Here goes. There you go. You want to try? Anybody? Okay, come on up. I got 3 more. This is the part where you get to do it. You got to wear safety glasses.
Okay, we'll test the water.
Okay, now you got 3 of them you could go with here. Now remember what you got to do. Probably grab this one here because it's close, and then quick upside try to drop it straight in. It's hard to do. You got to get a little practice. If you goof up, don't worry about it. But you got to do it real quick. There you go. He's good and natural. All right, cool. And that's the surgeon. No, you're the surgeon. What were you going to do?
Anesthesia.
You want to do anesthesia?
Yeah.
Well, you got to hit the right spot with anesthesia too. You know, you got to hit someone's spine and stuff. Okay.
Keep the glasses.
You're afraid of that? I'd scare you that much, huh? Okay, so let's move it over right close to the beaker. And then get over closer because you're going to want to flip it real quick and you want your body to be over there. Okay, you got 2, so you could goof up with one, but go ahead. Yeah, good. Cool. Take it out, let it drain. Anybody? We got one more. You'll be glad you sat in the front. You did too after you see what's coming next. Go ahead. There you go. There it is. Yeah. I had a whole bunch more. If you guys, when we're done, if you want to stick around and do more, I got more, and we can kind of hang out and do that. That is the crushing the can trick. Give our people a round of applause. Okay. I've got another trick question. Okay, what I've got over here is I'm going to show you so that I'm not screwing up. Can we put about half full with water in there? I'm letting Addie do this so that we know that I'm not going to deceive you in any way. Okay, so this is just regular old water. Here's the trick question. Can I boil this at room temperature? Some people shaking their heads. All right, what's it got to do to get to the boiling point? What did I say about the boiling point? Vapor pressure equal to surrounding pressure. And so somebody said yes. And you're actually right, because what you didn't see sitting over there is the vacuuminator, SCC1, sitting over there, a vacuum chamber, which really, really lowers the pressure. Okay? So that water there, look at it in all its glory. Isn't it? It's a state-of-the-art piece of equipment. Thank you, Addie. State-of-the-art piece of equipment. And now to show you the power, just sheer power of the vacuuminator, SCC1, I'm going to show you how it lowers the pressure using some shaving cream. Well, no, actually, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to boil the water. Sorry. The reason is, I'll tell you why I did that. Save that for a second, okay? So what's going to happen is the vacuuminator, SCC1, is going to pump out lots of this pressure, knock it down to almost nothing, make a vacuum in there. Then the vapor pressure here, which is very small, if I was, this is evaporating right now, right? If you come back, tomorrow, this level would be lower. Come back in 2 days, it'll be gone. So it's evaporating, but its vapor pressure is very low because water is very sticky and it doesn't vaporize that much. But if I take the vacuuminator SCC, I made that name up, but still. And then there's a pressure gauge over here, but I got it turned around, so you just have to trust me. This will pump about the atmosphere down to about, I know, right? It sounds like Willy Wonka's car when it starts working. I'm going to try to angle this so everybody can see it. What will happen is, now this pressure is down to about half the atmosphere, all right? I want to stress to you that that water is room temperature, all right? And so what will happen is if you lower the pressure enough, you'll get to the point where the surrounding pressure is equal to the vapor pressure. That's the boiling point. A good example is what happens when you go up to the top of a mountain. Does the boiling point of water change? It does. If you have a relative that lives in Colorado, and you go look on your package of mac and cheese, it says high temperature, high altitude instructions or something like that. And that's because water boils, there's less atmosphere on top of you, water boils at a lower temperature than that. I guess I got to buy more time. So I'll tell you about how it always irritates me when I'm watching a science fiction movie and somebody falls out of the spaceship, all right, and then nothing happens. What would happen to you? You guys are used to being grossed out with the body and stuff. You're going to work in healthcare. What would happen to all your fluids in your body if you fell out of a spaceship? They'd all boil. You'd blow up like a balloon or something. Your eyeballs okay, maybe I better not talk about it. But that's what would really happen, okay? And so that's how you know it's a low-budget movie. The gentleman didn't. But anybody ever seen Total Recall? When they lived in a bubble and then, never mind, their eyeballs kind of, okay. Anyhow, as you see, what's going on now?
It's sort of bubbling.
It's bubbling and that's boiling.
Yeah.
And if you could touch it, well, first of all, you can't because you could put your finger in there and your finger would blow up like a balloon. But if you could touch that, that is room temperature. I promise you, we didn't heat nothing. All we did was lower the surrounding pressure. I'll tell you why I did shaving cream next. Because it makes a mess sometimes. So I'm going to put shaving cream in there. And now this is actually, shaving cream's just bubbles with gas, with air in it, right? And so this has to do with a law called Boyle's Law, which is if you expand the volume of something, the pressure goes lower. The best example, healthcare-wise, is I was talking about the doctor goes, okay, what happens when you go, what are you doing? What's your body doing when you breathe in? There you go. Your diaphragm is expanding the area of your lungs, right? Your volume of your lungs, and the pressure's, P times V, pressure times volume, is a constant. So if pressure's high, volume's low. If volume's high, pressure's low. And all the air's coming in from that low pressure that you're creating with that muscle, right? That's all I know. I don't know much about the body, but I know that, okay? So what we're going to do next is we're going to throw some, I'm cheating. This is how you cheat with the vacuumeter. Okay, good, because I can't take this off until it's actually room pressure. And then, so what we're going to do next, we're going to take a little bit of shaving cream. And actually, I'm going to cover this because I don't want to get that messed up. And then I'm going to take this beaker, and I'm going to see if it fits in there. Actually, that would be a good idea, don't you think? Yeah, it does fit in there. Okay, good. And I'm going to take this beaker. I totally didn't have to do that if I'd have practiced. Okay. So we're going to take some shaving cream. This is just soap with air in it. That's all it is. Let's stop there. No. You guys deserve that extra little bit. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to put the shaving cream into the vacuuminator. I keep forgetting the name I made up. Vacuuminator SCC1. Here goes. Ready? Okay,
Yeah.
good. I was just messing with you. I know you're ready. Got to give it a chance. We're down to when it really starts working, it starts smoking. It starts, on a very humid day, the oil in there starts smoking. We're down to about half the atmosphere. Yeah, it's starting. Don't you agree it has a bigger volume? Okay, good. It's taken a while to pump down, and I think that's because there's some liquid in there that needs to evaporate out. There we go. See why I saved it for the end? Yeah. Mike's going to have to take a good old paper towel of that thing when that, and see how much it goes. I did it with whipped cream. It doesn't work as good with whipped cream. Shaving cream holds together somehow better. I don't know why. Probably got little emulsifiers in there that hold it together good. That is pretty cool. I'm going to let it go. I'm letting it go. If it falls over, though, I'm going to start turning that thing off because I don't want to. I want it to be exciting, but I don't want to clean up too much. Oh my goodness! I've never seen it. All right, now let's repressurize it real quick and watch it shrink in a hurry. See, I didn't want to have to clean it up. Please go all back in there. All right, looks like Mike's doing some work with the paper towel next. Okay, that's fine. That is. Marshmallows work really well, but you know what happens with marshmallows?
They blow up.
They actually rip open, and the little holes in them, then they actually kind of stop expanding. But that stuff doesn't. Shaving cream works like a wonder. Good thing it's soap, because I'm going to have to clean it up. So, all right, very good. That was the Vacuuminator SCC1, ladies and gentlemen. And good. I don't even care if you were clapping for me or that. All right, we've got one more final thing, and it does have to do with vapor pressure. I tried to make vapor pressure the theme of what's going on. And this, how many people have seen a whoosh bottle? Seen a whoosh bottle? Okay, well, then you're going to see it again. This is what's going to happen. And you know what happens is when something vaporizes, it generally takes up about 1,000 times more space than the liquid or solid than it came from. That's a rough estimate. So I'm going to put 25 milliliters of this stuff called 2-propanol, which is also called isopropyl alcohol. Where do we use that? Isopropyl alcohol, right? You ever get a shot? What's the first thing they do to you when you get a shot? With isopropyl alcohol. Why is that? Why do they do that? Yeah, it kills bacteria. So it makes them pop. Sucks the water right out of them. So there you go. The ones that are on your skin. Well, I mean, okay, never mind. I don't want to talk too much about healthcare. You guys will correct me. Because you'll be like, yeah, no, that's not how it works, Mike. We're going to let Addie do this one. What do you say? I know she's a pyro. So here's what's going to happen is Addie's going to let that go, and I'm going to do the other one. What she's doing now is she's agitating this stuff. This stuff has a high enough vapor pressure that 25 milliliters will create about 25 liters of vapor. And you really got to actually make sure that you shake it around good so that it all gets vaporized, because you don't really you want it to push the air out so you have a burn. If you have too much air, that's what we call an explosion. And we don't want an explosion, okay? Explosions are fun, but not when you don't expect them. So this will be very much a controlled burn. And we're going to do 2 of them because I have 2 of them, right? I could have brought 1, but what's better than 1 whoosh bottle is 2 whoosh bottles. So I'll get working on this one. It doesn't bead as much. It's sheeting all over. That means you're getting to the point where there's a very thin layer of liquid and it's almost fully vaporized, okay? So what we're going to do next, well, that's got to be ready, don't you think? All right. What I'm going to do is assist. Is anybody scared of the dark?
No.
Good. Okay. Is I want you to look at the color as it happens. Where do you want to be, Addie? We've got too much stuff here. I'll put this here.
Looks good, right?
Yeah, right there. I'll light it like this. I'll let you grab. We know what we're doing. We're trained professionals. I'll take that and then I'll light this for you. But I'll take this and I'll be the guy who takes the top off, and you'll be the person who lights it. How's that sound?
Beautiful.
Okay, good. Apparently Mike didn't light the match correctly. Okay. Apparently, 0 for 2 with the matches. Okay, this is in science what we call a candle at the end of a stick. Okay? And then I'm going to stand over here. Now remember, I want you to watch the color. And then maybe to be really safe, okay, there's the bottle of alcohol. Everybody ready?
Ready.
Ready?
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be a good one. There you go. You've seen that before. You don't forget that, do you? Did anybody notice anything with the color?
Yes.
What color was it first? It was, well, if it's blue. The problem is you see the orange at the end. And that is what happens when you have a blue. She moved. See better? Okay, good. A hot flame getting plenty of oxygen is blue. So that starts out as blue because it's got plenty of oxygen, but then it burns and there's not enough oxygen left. And then it's starving for oxygen and it sputters at the end. If you do one with some water mixed in, it goes a lot slower, but I like the fast one because it's scary. You know what I mean? So there you go. By the way, you see a lot of that. That's water vapor. And you just basically made yourself a little cloud in there. Okay? And so what we're going to do is later on, someday I'm going to go around campus with the whoosh bottle and we're going to try to film it doing weird stuff. I want to put it on a skateboard. You know, I mean, but then, and then maybe that might be where the campus police tell Mike to stop it. But we'll find out. That'll be maybe another thing to do. Okay, you want to do another one, Eddie? I'll let you. You did good with that. Or should we let, does anybody want to light it? All right, you guys want to flip a coin? Let him do it? Okay, he did say, okay, come on around this way.
Oh, no, I did the two things. You can do it.
Okay, that's good. All right, give him a hand for letting his colleague do it. He's going to be an anesthesiologist, and he's going to maybe need to play with ether. So we need to let him get used to volatile liquids. Okay, so maybe Addie can help you light the... Now what you're going to do is with that candle at the end of the stick, you're going to put it right at the mouth of this. Oh, we got to douse the lights again. Okay?
In the mouth? Just hold it a little bit over it. Okay.
Yeah.
It might.
Is it lit?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Okay, we got to light the candle. When I light the candle, I'll
We won't catch
turn...
you on fire. It's fine.
Real quick, can I triple my life insurance?
It's too late. That's a pre-existing condition. Let me get over there after I turn the lights off. Oops. Here goes. Remember the color, guys, now that you know it's coming. Ready? Okay, that's cool. No, that's enough, yeah. You know what? It didn't light. There's water in there. Go ahead. Just take it away. All right, that was what we call in science it didn't work. Go ahead, just blow it out. I don't know why. Because I think, I'll find out, but I think I must have water from a previous time of using it. Was that the one I did? No, wait, that's the one I did. Yeah, I got too much water in there, guys. Okay, that's what you call Mike didn't do it right. And sorry, that was the dud. We end on the dud. Darn, you didn't get your good picture. Oh, well. I think I just didn't let it dry out good. Yeah. Oh, well. I guess you want better odds than that in healthcare. 1 out of 2. All right, you want better odds than that. I guess I would just like to say thank you for coming and visiting campus, and I hope you guys have a very good day tomorrow. Wear your, by the way, we've proven that those T-shirts, you can actually see them from space. Thanks again for coming. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
I'll see you guys when I'm in the nursing home, okay?
So when you get famous,
Sure.
I can have a picture.
Well, I'm probably not getting famous, but you know what?
I'm going to set this right back here.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, building 3,
Good.
you can go across the
Now
Cool.
when he's famous, I can say I met science with Mike.
There you go.